After I won a 50-mile race here in St. George, Utah, a couple years ago, I had runner's knee right after. And what's interesting about this for me is I didn't stop running. I lowered my volume, but I didn't stop completely. And what I'm about to talk about is what helped me fix it. I am no medical provider. I probably should be. I'd be a good one. But I am not aware of what your situations are, and if you clicked on this video, maybe you've experienced runner's knee, or maybe you've had other injuries in life, and so they're all different, right? A tear, this is probably not going to help you with that. When it comes to my philosophy surrounding injuries, I've been running for 5 years pretty consistently. I've done several ultras, and I believe most injuries, boil down to a lack of strength and a lack of mobility. And so if we look at that philosophy, and you have runner's knee, you have an ankle problem, you have shin splints, maybe, just maybe, time off isn't going to fix that. Because if you come back with the same problems or the base issue and you start running again, you will experience those things again. And it's unfortunate that people deal with that. I see a lot of runners that take time off for a couple months, they come back, get the same problem. They're like, oh, I need more time off. That's insanity. That's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So, I have this strength exercise that I have found to be profoundly impactful, and it's what helped me with my runner's knee, helped me fix it while still running, and has helped me with things like shin splints and ankle problems as well. And that is what I call tibialis curls. And maybe there's a different name for it, but the tibialis is the muscle that runs along the front side of your shin. And if the majority of injuries boil down to lack of mobility and a lack of strength, well, if we're having runner's knee, what could maybe be some of the problems? Maybe you're weak around the knee, or maybe you're too tight in your quad and it's pulling on things. In my situation, yes, I was stretching my quad a lot and foam rolling and massage guns too. I love massage guns. What I started implementing and I've stuck with for years now and has helped me avoid, I haven't had an injury in probably, I dislocated my knee it was maybe almost a year ago, so, that's kind of different, but as far as like an overuse injury, I use this tibialis curl to strengthen that tibialis muscle. And so it's very simple. You do not need a lot of weight. I think that actually could potentially be harmful. You could work your way up in weight. But what I first started with, and then there's the secondary option, the first thing I did is I think it was a 2.5 pound plate or a 5 pound plate, and they're super small. You can get them on Amazon. It's not too much money. And what I would do is the hole in the plate, I would loop around my big toe. So if this is my big toe, here's my ankle. I would just kind of hang it off or sit on a chair, and I would just curl it. You'd use that tibialis muscle, and you just curl it or pull it up, right? It doesn't take a lot of weight, like I said, and you'll feel the burn right away, especially if you're not used to this kind of stuff. And I just found that that's just built up the strength in my lower leg. And again, I've avoided injuries since in doing this besides dislocating my knee. And I think it's for a couple reasons. Like, I'm no scientist. I haven't looked in the research with this, but for me personally, what I found is my ankle was a little bit more stable because, I'm using my ankle to hold it in place, right, and curl. And then just the front part of my leg feels stronger. Like, I don't get shin splints, I don't get runner's knee. And if I feel a pain in my knee, I just make sure I get some of those tibialis curls in, and I stretch a lot to, make sure my muscles aren't pulling on anything, right? And then the second way I've done this is you take kettlebells, and this is cool because you can do it at the same time, or it's easier to do at the same time, both legs, is you take kettlebells, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever. And you kind of loop it around the front of your foot and you hang off of let's say, a yoga mat type of thing. Those 3 sectioned ones that you can fold up and then it's a couple inches off the ground. You sit on that and kind of hang your knee, or really I rest my calf. Let's say this is my calf right here, right? I kind of rest it midway through off of the mat or whatever you're sitting on, the block. And then you can use the kettlebell to curl. So you're a little bit more parallel to the ground opposed to your knee, if you're sitting in a chair type of thing. And that's cool because it's easier to do both legs at a time. And it's just super simple. Like I do 3, maybe 4 sets of 10, 12 pounds, depending on how I'm doing that day. And I don't really count. Like sometimes I hit a certain number, but you burn plenty. I try and be controlled with it, not just swing the weight around. And it's just built up strength. And I'm sure maybe in the future I'll deal with overuse injuries with some of the events I have planned. It's possible. I would never say I've gotten past injuries for the rest of my life. I think this has gone a long way. And it's something that you just don't see people working out in the gym. I'm sure there's other ways to kind of work this out. I like this. I throw it in with my leg day, and I superset it with calf raises. So I do calf raises, switch to this immediately, take a minute or two to rest, and do that. And so I can get it in really quickly in my workout. It doesn't really take a whole lot of time. So hopefully you can implement this or you got something out of this. Strength training in general is just helpful. Different ways to go about that, but I found that this tibialis raise works really well for me and helped me get rid of my runner's knee. My name is Reese. If you like running content, that's what this is about. I'm just trying to help people avoid injuries, learn from my mistakes, deepen their connection with running, and I mean, PRs are cool too. So if I can help you with that, that's great. I hope to see you in another video sometime soon. Peace!